What's going on, guys? What's cracking? Back again with another video, and let's start on what we're doing with the build. We talked about the first video. This is the second one now. Let's get on to the third one. We're going to start rebuilding and kind of go over a few more things. So this right here is the big part of it. So Brian Crowder, thank you guys again for this. There's just a lot going on. So there's a lot of stuff for Brian Crowder here, but there's also this brand new GTE head. So if you guys didn't know, I actually sold my GTE head that had on it. There was nothing wrong with it, but I just kind of wanted to start fresh. And my thought process was, you know, everything inside that head, they were going to junk, right? They're going to throw away the valves, the springs, the retainers. They're going to get rid of it all. It wasn't going to be worth anything. So in my mind, I'm like, well, might as well sell it as a complete package. It works and everything's great. So might as well just sell it as is. And it just kind of worked out. I was able to get a new head because of it, and made a little extra cash. So it was a win-win for both parties. It just ended up working out really well. So I'm very, very happy. The guys over at Absolute Driven Performance, thank you guys very much. I appreciate working out the deal with you. Great shop, great people. But that's the head. Let's get to some of the BC parts here. Brian Crowder, 276 cams. Go ahead and open the box here. I won't be able to see the cams because they come in another little mini box. We got the 276 cams here. They do have the cam card inside also. What is in this box here? What do we got? This is, oh, the cam gears itself. So Brian Crowder also set their cam gears, which is also really cool, because if you look here, they also sent me the ARP bolts to go in the center of those. Not 1000% necessary, but come on, how cool is that? ARP bolts for your cam gears. Thought that was really neat. I've never run adjustable cam gears. This will be the first time, so I'm kind of intrigued to see if I can make a little bit extra power with those too. We've got the bronze guides. We've got the keepers here. We move over here to the next set. This should be the valves, I believe. No, I take that back. This should be the springs. This is the Brian Crowder dual spring setup. So if I can pull it up here, you see, this is a dual spring setup. Usually we run a single spring, but we're going dual this time. Because, you know, you never know how much power we're going to make, so might as well go a little safe. Got the titanium retainers here too. Going all out this time, guys. This is, I'm beyond grateful and happy. And then here we have the intake and exhaust valves. So you can see here, let's open it up. I'm not going to take it out of the packaging, but you can see here, stainless steel intake and exhaust valves. Keep trying to say cams. But again, Brian Crowder, thank you very much. Should be pretty awesome. Again, with this brand new head here, it obviously is all fresh, and it does have the, I forget what the type of the material it is for these guides, but we're going to replace those with the bronze, or kind of whatever David Head Game says to do, right? I'm going to take his suggestion on it. He's going to clean up the head some, clean up the ports a little bit. I mean, the head is obviously minty, right? So there's nothing wrong with it, but we're going to clean it up a little bit and just make it as fresh as possible. What I was surprised about is how dirty the casting is still. Like, brand new from Toyota, but it doesn't look, like, you can see it looks dark and dingy, and it literally is dirty still. Like, it's almost like dirty, gritty. So like when they put it through the washer, it should really clean up, because my head, or my wife's head over there, is actually cleaner looking, right? So the actual material here is so like bright and silver looking from after going through the cleaner. So I'm hoping this kind of cleans up in the same way too. But again, he's just gonna do a little baby pocket port, nothing crazy, not gonna go ham on this, just enough to make it flow a little better, make a little bit more power. Now, some of the other parts, I am staying with the MCC Loyalty intake manifold. So if you guys saw in the last video, I had the parts up for sale for the, oh shoot, idle control valve, blocking that off now. This comes with the MCC Loyalty because I'm going drive-by-wire. Comes with the bolts too. I just use OEM because I think these are easier to get to when you need to remove something. I don't think I'll need to remove it anytime soon, but just in case. You can see here where I had the fitting set up for the, oh my gosh, I had the map sensor. I have it set up for the fuel pressure. We also had it over here for the blow-off valve, and then this went to the brake booster. So that was it. Got some tape residue here, so I was trying to take it off, but the manifold seems to have no cracks. I did pressure test it before I took it all out, and it was still good to go. So really, really been happy with this. I'm also staying with the Powerhouse Racing exhaust manifold. Tried and true. You can see here again, I didn't take the wastegates off, but you can see here it's braced from the one time it did break on me. And again, I was the second person, but besides, I believe, Rad Dan to ever break one. So when it did break, they said, okay, well, we're going to brace it up this time. So they put these two little braces and re-welded some key areas to make sure it didn't happen. Now, and my understanding is they don't even make collectors anymore. They're all billet. So this is one of the last few that they actually welded the entire collectors and stuff. So the new billet ones don't even have that problem, right? It's not even an issue. So yeah, but even besides that, I really haven't had any problems. Like the manifold's been very, very good to me. Maybe I'll take the wastegates off and just have it sonic cleaned just to see what it looks like, you know, because why not? Yeah. Also stay with the T56 mag, 4-inch downpipe, mid-pipe setup. You got the T56 mag there. Now the clutch upgrade, when I spoke to Joel last, we're going to look at something for the Tilton clutch that's in Colton's car. Try to make a little more power, you know, clamp a little bit more. Try something a little bit different. Turbo is also a big factor right now. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this. The goal is 1,000 horsepower. This will make it on certain dynos, but realistically, it's not going to make 1,000. It sucks because I don't want to go to precision. I don't know what to do here. Maybe a comp turbo? I don't know. I genuinely don't know what to do at this time. I've got to reevaluate everything, kind of figure out what I want to do, and go from there. Again, I'll keep the PHR downpipe also. Got a little bit of love marks on it here. Again, definitely been used. Probably was never designed to be driven and used as much as I do. So yeah, same with these pipes and stuff. I'll have these all cut up and then fit a little bit better. But I'm pretty happy, guys. I'm excited for this build. Obviously, guys, too, the big thing is the car is going to be running a Haltech Nexus. And I'm not sure if I'm going to use one of the new PD16s they have, which is their PDM, because the Nexus itself is a PDM, but we're going to try and factor in and try to see where we need to go here. I really think we'll be able to do most of what we need to with the Haltech. I think we'll really be able to. We might have to get a PD16 to finish up the last little bits, but I really, really think we'll be able to do this. So, you know, I'm working with Jose, and things that come from the factory saying they take, you know, say they take 8 amps or something, right? Or say they take 15 amps, but they really don't draw any more, maxing out, take more than 6 or 7. Well, then I can just use one 8 amp, right? Instead of doubling everything up. That's one more I save. So I'm going to try and really test everything and see, like, is it really drawing this or not? So I'm going to try and save up and make sure that I can do it with one box. If I have to go to PD16, I will. But I would love to do it just with the Nexus because less is more, right? If I just have one box controlling everything, be less down below and a lot simpler too. This car will also be running R35 coil packs, so that's going to be nice. Clean things up and won't have the igniter down below too. But that is enough jibber jabbering for me. The next up thing I need to do is take the wheels off, get it up in the air, and then take the fender liner plastics out and start taking the wire out from inside. One other thing, guys, and this thing looks stupid. I look crazy right now because I'm about to go underneath the dash. These little headlights here, get one. These things are amazing. So I click it on the side here. It's got different settings. It's lower. It's got a little side one and then lower. It also has this little feature on the side. So if I turn it on, I click this on. Now when I wave my hand by it, clicks it off, clicks it on, clicks it off, clicks it on. Freaking awesome. So if your hands are dirty and greasy, instead of hitting a button, just wave by it. 30 bucks. 30 bucks. Life changing, especially if you work under the dash, any type of wiring, or in a small spot, instead of having a light there and you know your face or head's blocking it. This is right on your forehead. You see how thin it is. I will say the one downside is if it's hot wherever you're at, this thing gets warm. It doesn't get like burning hot, but it's a light at the end of the day on your forehead. You're gonna feel the heat. So just want to let you guys know the thing's cool. I'll put a link down on Amazon down below. It's just neat. They're cheap and it comes with a USB-C charger. It comes with everything for like 30 bucks. Don't even know how they make money on these things, but very cool. I promise I'm getting over to the wiring. Another thing I want to show you, because I'm trying to throw things away, was a head gasket. So this is obvious, of course, you know, the one nice thing, because it's a 2J, unlike a crappy RB. Anyone who ever argues with me that RBs are comparable to a 2J, these get their head checked. But here's the head gasket, and it had no issues. There's no spots on it that had any type of blowouts or problems. Nothing was even remotely failing. Again, it did have ARP head studs that I had cranked down pretty good. With the new setup, I'm going to do the 625s because, you know, more power, don't want to take any chances. So I just want to go a little bit extra just to be safe. But yeah, just wanted to show you guys that. But now, instead of taking the fender wells out of this, I'm going to start inside because you got to plug it from there. This side is easy compared to that side. I'll show you the plugs once I get them out. I think this side's 3 plugs, and I think that side is 3 plugs. Don't quote me on that, but I'll show you what the plugs are that we need to undo. All right, so now I've got the car back up in the air here, guys. Gonna take the wheel off, have to take the plastics out, and there'll be an orange plug here that I need to remove. So take all the fender well plastics. So you start here, top, and this also has to come off slightly. You don't have to take it off fully, but you have to take it off slightly so you can bend it up and around. I'm curious how dirty it is under there. But you need to take these out. Probably should replace the fender plastics on this car because it's a little raunchy. But I'll show you the plugs then you need to undo. Once I show you the plugs, you'll know what they are inside. You'll know by the colors. This will help figure it out. That side's always the hardest. I actually got the 2 green plugs. There's 1 white plug at the top. It is very hard with a manual. With an automatic's easy. You almost have to take the pedal out to get to it. Not fun. It's a very top one. It's always a PETA. I was not looking forward to doing it. And like I said, I got all this done in like minutes. Now the last plug, I was sitting there for like 20 minutes trying to get to it. Can't get it unplugged. So I said, screw it. I'm going to go ahead and take the wiring out, get it out to that side, and then I'll worry with that another time. But at least I can accomplish something for today. So I'm going to shut up. Let's take the wheel off and start taking the plastics out. So I wanted to show you guys this too. You can see some of the wiring here. See if I turn my little headlight on here. See some of the wiring. So there's the orange boot. All right, I've got literally a headlamp on doing this. It's literally on my head. So that's the orange boot. You're gonna peel this back, right? It takes a little bit of force. It's actually pretty hard. But this is how I ran the wiring before. Ran it up here, came up here. It's hard to see. My headlamp's not showing it. But ran up there. You can see this is just all the factory loom. I just pulled it inside. And then look at this here. Look at the wires cut. Look at that exposed. Like, look at that. That's terrible. It's amazing some of the shit that's on this car and what it looks like. I tucked this and did all this back in 2012, so 9-10 years ago now. Yeah, Ryan now is not very impressed with Ryan back then. This is horrible looking. This is terrible. I would never allow this now. So it's amazing how much you can change. That's a long time, actually, 10 years. Jesus Christ, you grow a lot, but just little things. So yeah, I'm gonna unplug this and yeah, get this inside the car and start unplugging all this stuff and going out this way because I gotta unplug here at the alternator, which is already done. Cut the zip tie. This is for your wheel speed sensors, which is for your ABS. Got this here for your signal for your light here. They've got your lights there, you got your headlights, and then it runs up and behind here, runs the whole way over. You can see where the wiring is there, goes in the box and then back inside the car. So that's where we're gonna start doing is we're gonna start cutting some zip ties here and then start unbolting this and running it out that way. All right, guys, so I wanted to show you this. There's the orange plug that was right there. When you pull that out, here's the 3 green plugs. There's more plugs in there, but these are only 3 that you have to depin, or should say unplug. So there's this 1 wire, it's huge. I believe, what is this for? Is this for the ABS or what is this for? This is power to something. I can't remember, it's gonna drive me nuts. But these other 2 green plugs, one's slightly smaller than the other one. See here, and then this one. You'll be able to tell, I mean, once you're inside the car, you'll be able to tell which ones you need to depin. You'll be able to see, all right, which one goes to the orange plug? Just disconnect them. And then, like I said, I already had all this tucked away. You can see where I ghettoily extended the wire. This goes over to your AC. Look at these wires just chilling. No sheeting on them. Look at the factory sheeting I just left there. Like, so terrible. I'm glad this is all gonna be fixed with all new wiring now. But now I'm inside of here, cutting all this stuff and took the headlight out. Because you see, I had it tucked, it came up through here. It's the only way to really run it. You can't come under here because of the headlight will hit it. So it needs to come up through here. Then it goes back up in through here, if you can see. It goes up here and back to there. And yes, look how dented it is. When I removed the engine the first time, it had so much tension on it, came up and went, whoom! Yeah, so probably gonna replace this, even though it still works. Pretty impressive, Toyota. Still works, but I think I'm gonna replace it just to be safe. So gonna unbolt it here, move it forward for now because it does have pressure in it, and I'm gonna do it the right way and use a system to decompress it. But take the wiring out from behind here. You have 2 pins here, get a pin here, press these in, the wiring will fall down, be loose, and you can pick it up and over. So like I was showing you there, guys, wiring for that whole side's done, pulled out. Got the last white. There's 2 white plugs, 2 green plugs on this side, so a total of 4 plugs. Colton here was able to get the 1 plug. He is now cutting the zip ties that I had holding this side up and undoing the ABS plug, the side marker lights, and then the turn signal lights. Now, next up, what he has to do here is we have to actually pull the harness through this little yellow boot right here. So we just gotta, yank it through that boot. It's not fun, but it's gotta be done. All right, guys, so wiring is all out from under the car here. Last thing we gotta do is remove the fuse box itself. Take the cover off. There's a 10, and then inside this red, which is like a power here, 12 millimeter. You pull that out, and then it literally slides up and out, like so. And there you can see the bottom side of it then. Then when you do it, you pull this out, it's a 10 and a 10 now. You see where I modified this back in the day to fit the intake manifold. But you just pull these out then, and the box comes out. So if I should be able to take it out right now. Probably help if I got my power tools, but you know, hey. Do this in real time. There's one, and then do the other one. There we go. And should be able to pull that one out. And that's it then. Now what I can do is this, because once I pull that out, I can sit this back on. There we go. Let's get it back in there. There we go. Because once you pull this out, I'm gonna pull all the wiring up through this hole here. So I'm not gonna obviously try and fit this down through there. So I'm gonna leave that like that, and I'll put some 10 mil and the 12 mil back on just to keep it compacted. But from here, yeah, just gotta pull the wiring up through. I think it's all loose here. Oh no, forgot inside, guys. Inside, what I'm gonna do here is actually pull on the hood latch. There's 2 screws that hold that in, and you gotta pull that out along with the harness just to feed this out through. Once you get that though, it's all good.
Hey Colton, this is louder than your Supra.
Okay guys, so need to pull out the wiring. Like I said, we pulled out everything inside here. So let's just show this. From this side, here's what you'll take out from inside the car. 3 plugs, 2 green, super easy to get off. This white plug, super easy to get off. This sucks. I want to show you guys this so you have this for record. So this is up inside the car. Well, I'm gonna face the right way. So this will be up top like this. Like this. This will be down here, these 2, so it'll be oriented something like this. Okay? It'll be oriented something like this. These 2 are easy to get to, this one's easy to get off, but this one here, I want to show you the type it is, right? See how the pin is? You have to press up and out, down on it. So like, see how hard it is to put pressure on that? And you're sticking your arm up and over like this. I just got to show this act like this. You're like, damn it. If you have an automatic, no problem. Colton behind the camera, how much does it suck with a manual?
Sucks.
It sucks big time. The pedal is dead in the way. The only thing that helped save us this time around was the fact that, you know, we took all the pressure out of the pedal so I could push it the whole way to the floor. Well, Colton did in this aspect. But you can see even this plug's a little, lack of better words, bitched up. So again, you press down on it and you can see, I want to be able to have this even for my own records, you can see how it hinges down then and that lets go and you can pull out. So you have to put some serious pressure on it too, guys. So if you're like, it doesn't make any sense, it is very, very stiff. These plugs are very, very old, heat cycled, you know, over the years. It's not an engine bay, but a car's 30 years old. It's a hot, cold winters and stuff, or if it's in the Florida summer, shit like that goes bad. Don't forget too, you have to take the cowl off because you have to get this plug out. You can see my jankiness. Look at some of this wiring again, guys. This is just absolutely atrocious, not acceptable. I can't wait to replace all this. Again, on this side, you had the turn signal light, you have the side marker light, you have your ABS sensors, obviously your headlights, and then you pull it out through here. This is how I had it tucked. So pull this, you can see my fuse box will sit there. Pull this out. Again, look at some of this wiring too, guys. I'll show you this. It is absolutely atrocious how bad some of this is. And there we go. Now, you can see I had it routed through this hole here. When I have Jose redo this, right, Kaizen Motorsports, we're not gonna run through this hole. The goal is to come up through here. So if you can show this, Colton, we're gonna come out through here, okay? Not here, through here, all right? We cannot run underneath the headlight. There is some room, but then it gets tight. So if you look here, I'm gonna pull this down and out of the way. You look here, you can see that there's not very much room right here, and then it gets tight. So it's better to, it's gonna have to sit somewhere in the engine bay. Now a lot of these wires are gonna be removed, okay? I keep saying okay. A lot of these wires are going to be removed, so it's not a big deal, but it is, yeah. So some things I'm gonna point out, again, once we make the diagram, I'm gonna try and tell you guys as much as possible. Some things I'm not going to say, right? And you're probably like, well, Ryan, why can't you tell us everything? We're gonna put a lot of work, we're gonna put a lot of effort into this. Jose's gonna take a lot of his free time, quote unquote free time, to create this for us. The whole goal is that you guys can buy it from him. So if we're putting the time and effort in, you know, he needs to make some money off this. He's a business. Yeah, he's taking the time to help me out, to then help us out to create this. No one has done this yet and then offered it to the market, right? There's people that put PDMs in cars. I think Devin Portman, Cody Phillips have done this. And it's great, but they're not on a street car application yet. I think Devin Portman's will be the first street car application, and then Michael at Haltech has removed it, but there's no write-up for it, right? And there's nothing offered from Haltech for this. Haltech, I should say. So that's something I want to tell you. A lot of these big wires here, more than half these wires won't be used. We don't need any of this stuff, especially if you don't have ABS. Now, this is going to be set up without ABS being in the picture, so I want that to be clear also. If your car's an ABS car, that's going to change some things, because you're going to have a lot more amperage, a lot more wiring that's got to go into it, but most of us have removed that. Some of you haven't. But if you're going down the tucked route, I'm assuming you're going to be removing the ABS, right? So just want to let you guys know, again, these are some of the things that need removed. I'm going to take this all out, lay it on the floor, and then again, show you all the plugs that are left on my car and explain what they are. All right, guys, and this is what we're going to end the video with. So I'm going to go over the harness fully, okay? That's one of the big parts with this before I put it back and show you guys what has been removed, right? And this harness, I'm going to tell you guys again, has been cut up because the old Ryan 10 years ago, that was a good idea just to snip the plugs off and try to tuck them away. No, I should have just kept them and just zip tied away, but you know, it's neither here nor there. So this is where we're at. So we're gonna start on the driver's side. Again, plugs inside, I kind of showed you, this is the plug that's a pain. You got the other white plug, green plug. Then it comes around here, comes out here. Again, I had to extend the wires for this the way I had it tucked. This is for your windshield wipers. Comes around this way, and then the next item is your side marker and your ABS plug. Then from there, it comes into this area here. Again, this is kind of butchered, but it comes into your fuse box, which then has these plugs here, which actually goes to your engine bay harness, which again, we won't need these because it'll be physically inside the car now, so these won't really matter. Comes down here to a physical ground. This goes to the actual chassis, but talking to Jose, it looks like we only need one of these now because again, a lot of this stuff is dead. So a lot of all these wires and stuff you've seen here aren't really utilized because again, I don't have ABS. A lot of this stuff just isn't used, right? And technology's gotten better. We don't need some of the bigger wiring because we don't use halogen bulbs. We have LEDs, so there's a lot less draw, so on and so forth. So you'll be surprised how much smaller the harness is going to be and how much less wiring that we need. So with this here, we have what is called the Supra fog lights, low beam, and then we have a high beam. Here again, I butchered in some lights. These are for the 97, 98 turn signals. And again, butchered in is an understatement. Look at this, electrical tape and twisted and then heat shrinked. Awful. Again, comes up and over. This was in front of the bumper. And then the next split out is here. Now, this one here, I am not sure. I don't know what happened, but this one was cut. I've never been in here before to see how dirty it is. For some reason, this has been cut. It's not ripped off. You can see it was literally cut. I don't know what this went to, but it was cut off. I have to figure that out. Not sure what this plug is to either. I don't know where it was. It wasn't plugged into anything. So when I pulled it out, it wasn't plugged to anything. This here goes to the one horn I have left. This here is your ambient sensor. I believe this is for your HVAC. And then it comes back over this way. High beam, low beam, fog light. Again, the front turn signals, 97, 98. Janky wiring. Another ground, again, you will have only one physical ground, not sure where they'll put it at. I'll ask Jose, you know, again, we're gonna try and keep it clean, tucked away. Come over here, alternator, ABS. Again, you wanna keep these plugs, you guys, and we're gonna keep all four for the fact that, you know, if you have a motorsport style traction control, these come in handy. Coming over here, this is for your side marker, sword marker. Then you follow the wiring here to this random blue and white wiring that I added to extend and tuck the wiring for the AC. And the one wire snapped, not sure why. Because I literally pulled it off like without even touching the wiring, and I guess from all the heat being close to the hot side, finally gave out. So that's going to be interesting if we have to use this plug and depin it. And then it brings you back into the orange plug, which is the 3 green plugs. Again, the one big one, the one big wire one, this bigger green plug, and then the smaller one with a bunch of small like 20, 22 gauge wires. And again, guys, that's it then. That is the fuse box harness. That is the head. And then we'll get into the block into another video and talk about, you know, what we're going to do for the internals, kind of give you guys an exact spec and then kind of go over the car a little bit more. So thank you guys very much again for tuning in today. I really appreciate it. Sorry if these videos are a little long, but I'm trying to be detailed. I want to help you guys as best I can. Again, thank you guys very much, and I'll talk to you later. Peace.